Imagine avoiding running for almost 60 years and then deciding to start at age 58. Most women over 50 believe starting to run at this age is too late. So today I want to introduce you to someone who proves that's absolutely not true. Not only did she start at 58, but she's still doing some pretty epic things at 67. From 2 broken wrists, from 2 different falls on trails, to her longest distance of 62 miles, her journey is going to inspire you. Here's what surprises most people. Barbara wasn't an athlete growing up. She wasn't running track in high school, or she wasn't doing 5Ks in her 20s. While she is into fitness and is a personal trainer, running was never something that was even on her mind. As a matter of fact, her doctors had told her that she had bad knees and she shouldn't even really think about it. So she avoided running for more than 5 decades. It just wasn't going to be her thing. And hey, if you can relate to that, if you've ever thought you missed your chance or you waited too long, Barbara was right there with you thinking that same thing. But it all began because 2 of her coworkers were talking about training for the rock and roll half marathon here in Phoenix. It's gonna be fun, they said. So Barbara at age 58 thought, why not try it once? Just once, just to see if she could do it. She went for it, and even though she had been told multiple times that she had bad knees and that she shouldn't do it, that one-time thing turned into something she never expected because she got addicted. I can't tell you the number of women over 50 who have said that to me. They had no interest ever in running, and then somehow they tried it, and then they're hooked. Probably just about every single woman who has joined the True Tribe. When she started, Barbara didn't feel like a real runner either. She began with walk-run intervals, just like most of the women that I coach. She doubted herself. She thought she was slow. She questioned whether she belonged and should do this. And if you've ever felt this way before, and likely you have, just head down below in the description and book a call with me. I love helping women over 50 make up their own running rules, just like Barbara. But let me get back to her story. One day in the middle of a run, as she transitioned from a walk interval to a run interval, she had an aha moment. She realized she was a runner. That mindset shift changed everything for her. And it's a shift I wish every woman over 50 could make. Hear this loud and clear. If you walk in your runs, you are a runner. Before I share all the epic things that she did in a few years, I saw Barbara at Tract earlier this week, and I asked her a few questions. Here's the first one. If a woman over 50 is watching this and is scared to start, what's the one thing you would want her to know? The other one's going to come at the end, a bit of a spoiler alert when I ask her about her recent back surgery and how she's handling transitioning from running to walking right now. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, so what would I say to a woman who is afraid to start? I think the first thing I would tell them is that that's normal. If you're taking on something new that you haven't done or haven't done in a really long time, I think it's normal and probably even a little smart to proceed with caution, especially if you're like in your 50s or 60s and you're not an athlete in your 20s anymore. It's really smart to proceed with caution. So I would say, first of all, make sure you're medically cleared to start a running or walking program, and then take it slowly. Use a coach who can teach you good techniques, and that's going to help minimize the chance of you hurting yourself while you're getting into your new routine. And it's just, I would say go for it. Just proceed with caution and ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen? You either don't like running and then maybe you become a really fast walker, and that's a great thing, or you fall in love with running like I did and it becomes just a major part of your life. So I'd say go for it. Just proceed with caution.
Now let's go back to her journey. Barbara shows up at an event at Soul Sports, one of our local running stores. It was an ultra running event. I'm an ambassador, and I invited her to come to Running for Brews. She showed up, she ran, she had fun, then she joined the tribe, and this is where her story really takes off. And let me remind you that at this point, she is in her early 60s. With technique, mindset coaching, consistency, and a community of all these amazing women surrounding her, she got more confident and she started dreaming bigger. Her first trail race, her first night trail race, her first double down, her first 50K, her first race in another country, her first stage race. Yup, she accomplished all of these in just a few years. Most people think women slow down at 60, but hey, not Barbara. She sped up. And that's not all. Before I tell you what she did next, let me tell you that she had 2 broken wrists from 2 different races at 2 different times during this period. As a matter of fact, I interviewed her a few years ago, and she goes into a little more detail about this. So you can go watch that video here, but I'll also link it in the description so you can watch it after you watch this video. And once she recovered, she discovered timed looped events. If you've never heard of them before, these are a great safe way to go the distance. There is no distance goal, but a time goal. So after doing a few of these, on December 3rd, 2023, she did a 24-hour event and completed her first 100K. That's 62 miles on a 1-loop track and mostly in the rain. And all of that is in that video that I mentioned. And I just rewatched that video to prepare for this one. And let me just say I had to break out with a couple of tissues. And if those broken wrists weren't enough, like every real journey, she ran into her biggest obstacle to date. Last year at age 65, Barbara had to have back surgery. And a lot of women over 60 would have stopped. They would have said, well, that was a nice chapter. I guess I'm done now. But not Barbara. Sure, she had to take some time off to heal. And unfortunately, her doctor told her she couldn't run anymore, especially if she could feel it and it hurt. But did this stop Barbara? Nope. She found a new path and started walking the long distances that she used to run. As a matter of fact, in October this year, a couple months ago, she hiked the Jackass 31K night trail race, which she had done 4 times before running. And last month, she paced and swept the Every Women's Marathon. These were both her longest distances as a walker. Having to give up running wasn't an easy transition, but she does remind us that her journey isn't over. It's evolving. And after these longer distances, she's decided those are not for her anymore either. But she's still going to keep walking and racing, just shorter distances. So when I asked Barbara at track earlier, how do you find peace with transitioning from running to walking? Here's what she had to say.
Well, my transition from running to walking was something that I had not planned. And I will say that I've made peace with it overall, but I still have my moments when I really miss running. But what I like to do is look back with gratitude at what my body allowed me to do while I was running, because I think I did some pretty cool stuff. And then look at the present with gratitude as well, and thank my body for still being able to get up and walk in the morning, for being able to walk fast and walk far. And then, as I said, it's just, I discovered that walking briskly, walking with a purpose, I get a really good workout. I get that same kind of feeling I get from running. And I think it's a great thing with just a little bit less impact, which for me, for my back, is what I needed to do.
So why does Barbara's story matter? Because so many women over 50 or 60 or 70 believe I'm too slow, I'm too old, I can't start now, what if I get hurt? Barbara had those fears too. She just didn't let them decide the next chapter for her. If you've been waiting for the right time, let Barbara be your sign. You can start wherever you are. You can move at your own pace. And you never know where your journey might lead. She would have missed out on all of those opportunities if she didn't try. But if you want support, if you want a community of women over 50 who get it, my door is always open. You can always hop on a chat with Coach Lisa call, no pressure, just a conversation about where you want to go next. And Barbara, thank you so much for letting me share your story. See you on the next video.